Hello and welcome to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I am your host, Ryan Gilbert. Joining me tonight is my co-host, Joel Meyer. How are we doing tonight, Joel?
I'm sweaty. The heat has arrived in Vancouver. I was kind of missing it for a little bit, having to go on the balcony all the time with my shoes on and then bundling out the big jacket, but fuck that. I hate the heat already. I'm not built for this kind of weather, even though it's not even close to being summer, but it's already too hot. But you know what? At least it makes the beer taste better, and that's a good thing. And you know what else makes the beer taste better? 4-1 comebacks by the Vancouver Canucks, winning 5-4 on Wednesday night. That was absolutely incredible to watch. The Canucks have a strange team of destiny vibe about them. The way they're winning these games, like there's so many moments in such a brief span of time, like that comeback against the Predators, or two comebacks really, where they scored twice in like 10 seconds in game one to win that one, and then of course the game 4 miracle, game 1 against the Oilers miracle. So yeah, it's been a crazy few weeks here in the city. And one funny thing about it too is that at the beginning of the playoffs, the buses they they show the name of the line and whatever, and then they also say "Go Team Go." The reasoning was that it was supposed to be like all inclusive, I guess, inclusive of all the sports teams, even though we only care about one team, the team that's in the playoffs. But thankfully, in the past couple of days, they finally switched it to "Go Canucks Go" on the buses. So no more stupid, gimmicky, lame "Go Team Go" on the buses. So yeah, great day. Too hot, but it'll calm down in time for the Canucks game, I hope, and I can enjoy it in peace.
Yeah, it was hot here a few days ago, like in the 80s, and now today it was in the 50s, like 30-degree difference in 2 days. But yeah, it'll get warm again here, I'm sure, next week. So it's been good. Yeah, that Canucks comeback was wild on Wednesday night. I mean, I think we're both on the Canucks in this series, but I definitely expect the Oilers to show up a better fight than that. We'll see what they do tonight. That game kicks off in about a little less than an hour here, so that'll be after we record here. But yeah, big comeback there. Rangers go up 4-0 on or 3-0 against the Hurricanes. Hurricanes getting a bunch of shot attempts against the Rangers, but Shesterkin stopping everything. Kane's not getting
what else
enough.
is new?
Yeah, Kane's not getting enough high danger chances, and the Rangers coming up clutch. Hurricanes can't do anything on the power play. They get a shorthanded goal against them to tie it up. So Hurricanes are disappointing me, letting me down once again this year, which seems to be becoming a tradition in May.
Yeah, I mean, I expect some changes to be made there. Carolina, the way that they're going isn't working. I mean, they did try to change some things, going big at the deadline for once, and Gensel has been scoring goals in this series at least, but not enough. Clearly, the other guys aren't producing, and yeah, when he just keeps shooting pucks from the perimeter on a hot goalie, like it just keeps him sharp, right? Instead of like waiting for those clinical chances and catch the goalie sleeping a bit. But that's why the Hurricanes get goalied all the time, because they fire so many shots. It looks great. They're like, oh wow, they had 35 shots and goalie saved 34 of them. Well, it helps when most of those are easy and just keeps the goalie on point. No time to sleep when you're just getting stupid shots fired all the time. So, yep, I think that their philosophy works great in the regular season, but when it comes to playoffs, you need guys that drive the net, set up plays, and get those high danger chances going, and they are not doing that as usual. So, changes expected there in Carolina.
Yeah, it's making Igor Shesterkin look good, which is reflected in the Conn Smythe odds. He's now the favorite. We'll get into that more later, which, I think he could be not the rightful favorite, depending on how everything else goes the rest of the way. Be a Hurricane. Maybe the Hurricanes need someone like Sheldon Keefe, and the Leafs need someone like Rod Brind'Amour. Just trade the coaches and see how they do next year.
Yeah, I mean, they've been kind of linked. Last I heard, Sheldon Keefe has been rumored to go to the Devils, which would be interesting. I wouldn't hate that. I think Keefe is a decent coach. Just I think that it's a personnel problem there in Toronto. So I think Keefe could have success in a different spot.
Yeah, I think if Keefe goes to the Devils, he's one of the Jack Adams favorites right away, because the Devils should already be healthier, get better goaltending, get some positive regression, and get back in the playoffs.
And the Toronto media would be loving the redemption story too.
Yeah. So yeah, you got that going on. Keefe was officially fired yesterday after Talon had his nice heartfelt speech to the Leafs the night before. Yeah, Keefe out. We'll see what else happens there in Toronto. Are you a bit surprised to see Silovs get to start in Vancouver? I know he didn't look great on the one Hyman goal. I'm not sure if they just don't trust the Smith, or is the Smith not fully healthy?
Yeah, I mean, if the Canucks lost the game, I think he's out. Like if, say, they only scored 2 goals in the comeback and they lost 4-3, but the fact that they still won keeps them in the net. And what I hear is that the goalie coach really likes them, so that helps too. And yeah, it's also I don't know, a fun story. The kid's only 21 years old. I think the team plays a little harder for him. Of course, they'd play hard for Smith, but there's a little bit extra there with the young kid in net. So yeah, he keeps winning games. So don't fix what's not broken.
Yeah, it looks like he was decent AHL last year, AHL playoffs as well. So yeah, I mean, if they're going to keep winning, that does make sense there. All right, make sure you are subscribed to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on Spotify, on Apple, all that good stuff there. Like and subscribe. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. Subscribe on YouTube as well. Podcast. They're doing a great job covering the baseball season. It's in the 6th month of the 6th-month season here, so make sure you check those guys out. There's one more thing I think happened last night I wanted to talk about. Oh, I want to talk about the game tonight. The Bruins just eight shots on goal through 2 periods. I think they've been outscored like 9-0 in the past 7 or 8 periods, something like that, since they took the lead there. It seems like it's something that I think I heard Friedman said, Bieksa said it. Once when you go game 7, you win that. You get adrenaline in game 1, and you feel that in games 2 and game 3. And we're seeing that with the Panthers. Panthers up 25-8 shots right now, 3-0 on the scoreboard, 2 big power play goals on the double minor on the high stick there. But the Panthers seem to be like the Hurricanes, but they're actually getting high quality chances and have the skill to finish.
I couldn't think of 2 teams more different than the Hurricanes and the Panthers. Yeah, the same thing could be said of the Dallas Stars too. They're coming off the game 7. They were up 3-0. They should have won the game, but they tired out. And of course, the Avalanche have the firepower to come back in that one. So you could say that both those game 7 winners were the right side in games 1. So yeah, that makes sense what Bieksa is saying. I think I was saying something similar at the beginning, but I thought that the Panthers would, click right into gear, and didn't really happen in game 1. But they're finding the game now as the Bruins are maybe showing a little bit of tiredness after that long series against the Leafs. They have to be emotionally exhausted after stressing out over the 3-1, blowing another 3-1 lead, and then the elation of victory. And then now getting into a tougher series against a better team in the Panthers, it's got to be taking a toll, and it seems to be doing so. I didn't see the first part of this game, but when I did start watching, the Bruins are actually coming into it, but then they committed a dumb high sticking penalty, double minor, and of course the Panthers scored twice on the double of minor, so that kind of put the game out of reach because there's a 4th, so now it's definitely out of reach. So let's go Panthers.
Power play goal there or after the power play?
I think so. No, it's power play. You got the
three power play goals. Nice. Yeah, I got 2+, 3+
nice.
there on FanDuel. Excellent.
Very nice. Yeah. Yes. So, yep, great result here. Panthers look to be on cruise control. Heavily favored to win the series now, as they should be, getting the home ice advantage back. So, yeah, everything is going according to plan so far. Let's hope the Canucks get it done tonight, and all these series are pretty much going my way.
It looks like Brad Marchand left the game as well for the Bruins. That series might just be close to over. Pasternak's not looking good either. Yeah, we're seeing Florida come down closer to even money for the Eastern Conference with the Rangers already pretty much plus 100, plus 105.
I hope the Bruins just go quietly because the Rangers are going to be 4 or 5 games before their series is done. So they'll have a huge rest advantage, having only played 8 or 9 games total. So hopefully the Panthers don't have to use the full 7 games here, so they can don't have a big rest or disadvantage. And yeah.
I did love seeing the all the fights and penalties there in the third period of game two with Kachuk and Pasta going at it. Like you like seeing those two guys go at it. You expect Kachuk to want to fight, but Pasternak, I guess he just wanted to get some frustrations out and help out his team where he can. It was funny. Like he told his coach Montgomery, he's like, yeah, go for it. So that was fun to see two stars go at it.
Yeah, that was kind of cute. Like a little kid asking his dad if he could go play or something.
But yeah, will you be mad if I fight? He's like, no, go ahead.
Yeah. Pasa, he's a tough guy, but he's not a fighter. So that was cool to see, like you said.
Yeah. All right, before we get to the games, we are brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. The playoffs are here, and our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy, wants to make it a lot more interesting. It's the easiest place to play fantasy sports. You can play their pick'em game to win up to 100 times your money by selecting higher or lower on player stats. You can make entries of just hockey or mix and match across your favorite sports. Underdog is available in 30-plus states, including California, Texas, and Canada. Sign up with promo code HGP to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus bets, bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code HGP. All right, we got a two-game slate here on Saturday, May 11th. Both night games here, kicking it off at 7 p.m. We have the New York Rangers at the Carolina Hurricanes. Game itself is in Carolina. Hurricanes are minus 148. Rangers are plus 124. Over-under is at 5.5. Over paying off minus 105 with the under at minus 115 here. I'm going back to my Hurricanes again here. Minus 148 at home. This is about where the line closed in game three. It opened a lot higher, minus 160, minus 150, but it looks like it closed around there. These are close to the best odds you can get. I'm seeing minus 140 at Betway, which is even better, obviously. I don't know. I think Carolina, Shesterkin has to tire at one point. Like back-to-back overtime games, double overtime game in there. Got Kochekov in there for the Canes last game. So it'll be either him or Fresher Anderson for game four. Game four at home, in front of their home fans. Like they can't go out back-to-back sweeps and back-to-back years. So I think this is an okay price here, around minus 150. But you can't play in regulation. Just how these teams do go to overtime, especially the Canes in the playoffs we saw this year and last year. So I like the Canes here, slightly into the over 5.5, minus 105. I think if the Canes win, they'll end up getting 3 or 4 on Shesterkin.
Yeah, still a ton of market respect for the Hurricanes, despite what we've seen so far. I don't think that they're the better team, so I'm going to take the Rangers once again, plus 124. Definitely give the edge to them here, especially with the Hurricanes on the ropes. You have to believe that their belief is down. It's really hard to get up from the floor, and the Rangers will. I think that they will have a killer instinct. Yeah, they've only won by a combined 3 goals, with all 3 goals being decided by a goal, but I don't think that they were the worst team in any of those games. So, yeah, I like the Rangers here to get it done. They just have more game breakers and all that, better goaltending. Who knows who's going to get the start now? Kochetkov, I guess. He was better than Freddie. But, yeah, either way, the Shesterkin's better. So I like the Rangers to finish the series. And why not go with the over 5.5? I mean, there's still so many penalties. Eventually, you think that the Hurricanes will score one. I think they're, over 15 now?
Yeah, over 5 in each game. I was just going to bring that up. They have to score a power play goal at some point.
Or at least they'll just give up another shorthanded goal. So I lean to the over 5.5. I think that we should have got, like Gorgon was saying, that the expected goals was like 6.5 goals in that one in a 5-goal game. But yeah, a lot of that has to do with how good Shesterkin is. But I still like the over for a total. But stronger play would be on the Rangers money line.
All right. Going down to the 10 p.m. time slot, we got the Dallas Stars at the Colorado Avalanche. Game itself is in Colorado. Avs are minus 130. Stars are plus 110. Over under is at 6.5. Over paying off minus 105 with the under at minus 115. Jolie, Avs going back home here. What do you got?
Well, I expect a stronger start from them after going a combined over 7 in the first 10 or the first 30 minutes or so. I don't know, but they went 0-3 in the first game and 0-4 in the second. So gotta have a better start here for the Avs. You can't just keep trying to come back and to tie these games and hopefully win them. But yeah, so stronger start. The Avalanche, of course, are killers at home. Stars, they played all these games in a row now. Only one day off between them. Much like the Bruins, I expect them to tire a little bit, even though that they're a more balanced team. They have more depth, so maybe that alleviates the weariness somewhat. So that's a concern. I still think the Stars win the series, but for this one, first game at home for the Avs, bounce back from the loss in Dallas. I would take the Avalanche in this one. And yeah, over 6.5 once again. Both teams, we know, are high scoring. Ottinger's been once again a hit or miss. Like he's made some super saves, but then also some really leaky goals he's let in too. So honestly, Georgiev has been just as good. Really, the Stars are getting more chances, and he's stopping most of them. So over 6.5, and the Avs for me. One more thing I should note of concern is that when Jamie Benn ran over Devon Toews, perfectly legal hit, no problem with that. The problem I have is that there was not much of a response from the Avalanche. I think that's something BX was noting as well. And I think that's the difference between this team and the team that won 2 years ago. And of course, a lot of that has to do with Gabriel Landeskog being out. He's the heartbeat of the team. He's the captain. He gets him going. He's the real leader. Of course, McKinnon is a leader on the ice, but he leads by example. He's not the one to fire up the troops and get them going and really inspire a proper fight back, like the Bruins were doing against the Panthers when they were down. I would like to see more of a response against Jamie Benn, but there was not much going on there. So that's definitely a concern. You don't want to see that in your team. So like the Avs, like the over, and hopefully the Avalanche can rally together and make something out of it. Oh, one more thing. Casey Middlestat, I was wrong, or whoever I was listening to was wrong about him not being a playoff fit. Like he was awesome in the first round. He's been okay in the first 2 games, I guess, but he's been okay, and certainly miles better than Ryan Johansson would have been. So, yeah, Casey Middlestat has been another fine pickup by the Avalanche management.
Yeah, Avs have had some good depth there. He's been on the second line with Lehkonen, so that's been good. And I agree with pretty much everything you said. I like the Avs here a lot at home. They're 33-9-1 at home, regular season plus playoffs there. Beat the Jets 6-2 and 5-1 after winning there in Winnipeg game 2. Dallas has been up and down. Ottinger definitely won the game for them, I would say, in game 2. He was really on one there, especially early on. Avs still able to storm back and make it a 1-goal game and then lose by 2 on the empty netter. But Avalanche at home, I think only minus 130 would be definitely a good look. Maybe over 3.5 goals is at plus odds. They've scored 4 goals in every one of their wins in the playoffs so far this season. So that's a good look if you want plus odds, or possibly just a puck line plus 180. I could see that the Avs winning this one by 2 or 3, like a 5-2, 6-3 type of game, like the high scoring. Open it up. McKinnon held off the score sheet last game, so he'll probably try to get back at it. Maybe look at over 1.5 points for him. Yeah, if you're getting another 6.5 here on a Avalanche playoff game, I'll take it. Minus 105. Might be able to get closer to even money somewhere else. Yeah, even money at Betway. So unless Ottinger is on his game and Georgiev steps it up, this game is definitely going to go over 6.5 minus 105. And also Avs for the series minus 113. If you like them here in game 2, I have to imagine game 3, I have to imagine they'll be even bigger favorites after that. So take a look at that if you're not in on this series yet. Or Avs to win from behind is plus 270 if the Stars take an early lead again and the Avs are able to storm back. So I think Colorado gets it done at home here to take a 2-1 lead. All right. Also, I kind of like the Avs here to win in 7 is plus 430, or to win in 6 is plus 340. I think that's something that they could come through here. Stars are going to see more of that fatigue, like we talked about with the Panthers after going 7 games, especially here in altitude there in Denver. So that makes me kind of want to take that puck line even stronger. Maybe take a Avs team total laddered up to 4.5, 5.5 too, given how they've played so far in these playoffs.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like I said, I think the Stars win the series, but I do think it goes long. So yeah, I don't think either of these teams are winning 3 straight. So definitely not the either team's winning 5. So yeah, 6 or 7 was what I'd be looking at. Just depends on which team you want to back.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're brought to you by Royal Retros. Looking to prove that you know ball? What better way to showcase your old school fandom than with some old school gear from a classic team? Royal Retros has jerseys, t-shirts, hats, jackets, sweatshirts, and more from the vintage sports leagues and teams that you know and love. The Dirty Bird, the Orange Crush, or the Sack Exchange all make for sick jerseys for real fans. So they got some Nordique stuff on there, so make sure you check that out. And use promo code SGPN for 10% off your order today. That's code SGPN at Royal Retros to take 10% off today. All right, Joel, you got any just future thoughts here? Anything you want to bring up?
I might have been speaking too soon here. The Bruins have scored 2 goals, and it's now 4-2 with 11 and a half to play. So the game isn't quite over. The Bruins are fighting back, both literally and on the scoreboard. So that'll be. I don't want to have to sweat another one. Be in the wars enough tonight.
Is Swayman still in, or do they put it on Mark for the third?
I can't see that far, man. I don't have my contacts in. My squinting.
I'll check the box. I'll check the box. We don't need any more Joel squinting.
Future thoughts. Obviously, it's not really relevant to the people listening now, but I bet Panthers to beat Canucks exacta at 33-1. Thinking that there's some value there on the Canucks not being properly respected by the market. They're still dogs to win their series despite winning the first game, and the condition of Leon Draisaitl, who is still a game time decision, I believe, unless it's confirmed by now. But either way, he's not healthy, unlike what the old knob was saying about it being cramps and equipment issues. Clearly bullshit. So yeah, I think that there's value for the Canucks going forward. You could just do the conference, but I think that they lose in the finals if it's Florida, and I think Florida win the Eastern Conference. So 33-1 is a great price. It'll drop somewhat. Obviously, if the Canucks win tonight, it'll drop a lot more. But yeah, it's probably still a good bet. I don't think that it'll drop as far as I think it should. So that's something to look at. But I was saying it all year, just Panthers futures, and Canucks have this team of destiny vibe. I mean, I don't think they're going to win the whole thing, but they can win a couple rounds with the way they're playing, and they could get Demko back too. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at there. As for the
is that dependent on the if the Canucks lose tonight? If the Canucks lose tonight, someone's listening to this on Saturday. What would you say about that? You still like it?
Yeah, well, the Panthers expected to win this one, and then obviously you'll get a better price with the Canucks being down a home game. Yeah, I probably still would like it though, because especially you just look at the. I don't think that the odds will reflect Draisaitl, at least not immediately, especially not in the exacta market where nobody's betting. So maybe it'll be reflected of course, it'll be reflected in the series price. But if you go deeper and in these exacta markets, they won't be quite as influenced by the injury. So that's the angle I'm tracking.
Okay.
Yeah. So Conn Smythe. I haven't bet this in a little bit. I got some Panthers guys, of course. I think they're the likeliest team to win the Cups, and actually loaded up with them, especially Matthew Tkachuk. Barkov is ahead of them now. I guess he had a strong game too. Yeah, Reinhardt. What's his price at? Oh, and Verhaeghe's not on the.
Verhaeghe 28-1, Reinhardt 35-1.
Yeah, Reinhardt had 4 assists in game 2. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So at the longest odds there, I think that I would be looking at him right now. Yeah,
I don't think Shesterkin should be the overall favorite. Like I think if the Rangers do win it all, I think they have too many forwards: Zibanejad, Panarin, Trocheck, Kreider, even that could step up and win it, like Marchessault did last year. And like you can get Panarin's 30-1, Zibanejad 30-1, Trocheck 35, and then I saw Kreider's I think I saw 90-1. Like I feel like that's 95-1 for Chris Kreider. Like he hasn't done much, but he's a clutch performer that can score in the Cup final.
Yeah, and the voting is weighted by recency bias, of course, like what you do in the conference finals, and of course the Cup finals will be more impactful in terms of the voters. So yeah, that's why I'm looking at the longer shots for now. I think he missed the boat on Shesterkin. Obviously, he's the likeliest one to win for the Rangers with the way he's playing and the way he's the the way that the crowd chants his name all the time. He's clearly the beloved one there in New York. So yeah, he's obviously like this one to win, but I don't know, Kreider at 95 to 1, I don't think that he's going to win. I don't think the Rangers are going to win, but if you really like the Rangers, maybe a few bucks on Kreider, but I would be staying away. I just think Shesterkin would win most of the time. Because the Rangers, if he's not going, I don't think that they're going to win the cup. So he's going to be playing. He's got to be playing like vintage Lundqvist or something the rest of the way for the Rangers to win. And in that case, he'll win the Conn Smythe. So that's why I would stay away from the Rangers. But if you want to throw a few bucks on a 95 to 1, I'm not going to hate you for it.
I do think Zibanejad 30 to 1 or Trocheck 35 to 1 would be better odds there than Kreider, because they've both been incredible, both at 5-on-5 and on the power play. FanDuel also has Rangers to go undefeated through the entire postseason at 180 to 1. If any of you out there want to throw some money on that.
You have to map out the money line rollover of all their games. Being that's be 9 more wins. So I don't know. I'm not that good at that math. So.
No, I'm not. I'm not either right now. So
if the Canucks win the Western Conference, that's definitely a better price because they'll be favored in all those games for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't like the Rangers as much as you guys. I mean, I like the Hurricanes because I think the Hurricanes are frauds, but after that, I think it gets a lot tougher because Capitals and Hurricanes, I'm not impressed too. Like they're all 1-goal games. 2 of them were overtime games as well. I guess the first game was the Rangers' best game. But even still, I don't think they got the horses to go all the way unless Lundqvist's best year mixed with the elite power play they got and the elite penalty kill apparently is just stifling the Hurricanes power play, which is always stifleable in the playoffs. But yeah, I'm just not in on the Rangers like some other people are.
Yeah, I still think it's going to be the Panthers in the East now. I was originally on the Canes. Obviously, they're down 3-0. I mean, they're capable of coming back, especially against the Rangers. But I think the Panthers take down the Rangers in the conference final. As long as that series only goes 5 or 6 games. If that goes 7 back-to-back 7-game series, and the Rangers beat the Canes in 4 or 5, they could be in for a rude awakening in the conference final.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's another reason why I need the Panthers here because, I got a lot on the Bruins as well, but I don't think the Bruins have nearly as good of a chance to beat the Rangers as the Panthers do. I still think they'd beat them, but it'd be a lot closer than a Panthers-Rangers Eastern Conference final. So that's just yet another reason why I want this series to be ended quickly. Hopefully Florida in 5 or something like that.
How you feeling about your Avs? You got McKinnon at 12 to 1, McCarr 16 to 1. I have to imagine those would be the only 2 that could potentially win it. The Chuskins got to be down here somewhere, 70 to 1. Rantanen can't find, must be 100 to 1 or more, or else I missed them. 60 to 1 for Rantanen. Like, you think the Avs still have a chance now?
Oh, they have a chance, but it's tough when you got 2 guys who are neck and neck. I guess I'd still leave McCarr slightly better odds. He's been slightly better too in these playoffs than McKinnon. But he's taking a beating. Like the Stars are definitely focusing in on him, and we know his injury history, so that's a bit of a concern there for McCarr. But yeah, I would stay away from the Avs myself. I don't think they're winning. I hope they win, but it's just it's a big road to climb. I think the Stars are a better team, and then they got to play the Panthers in the finals most likely. It's just too tough there. I mean, in the Western Conference final, like the Canucks, of course, would be big favorite against them, and the Oilers would be pretty closely lined. I guess the Oilers would be slight favorites, even though I think the Oilers. I got to look at the standings. I don't know who would have home ice advantage, but yeah, either way, it would be pretty closely lined there. But yeah, I think I have a chance, but I just don't think that these odds are good enough to back them.
Avs have home ice over the Oilers. Canucks have home ice over the Avs.
Right.
And Stars are top.
Yeah. Well, still, the Avalanche will be more heavily favored against the Canucks than the Oilers even with the home ice.
Yeah, you got that McDavid factor. But they need Skinner. And according to what you said, he did not look great in game 1.
No, he was brutal.
Yeah. But he looked bad. He looked bad in the Kings against the Kings for a game or two, and he bounced back. So, same thing with Ottinger. Ottinger looked like shit game one, both of those series, then looked great after that. So these goalies are weird. Goalies are weird.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying for like this whole season. Is the inconsistency in goaltending. It's not like this. It's not like the old days where you just had your number one and he would just be solid and consistent. Now there's like 3 or 4 of those guys in the whole league, 4 or 5 maybe. But even the elite goalies have up and down years. It's even Shesterkin, like the Vezina winner, he had a bad year last year, and then Sorokin had a bad year this year, despite leading the league in goal save above expected 2 years in a row, I think. It's up and down, up and down. Vasilevsky too. You can blame the injury for it, but I don't remember the old days when the late '90s, early 2000s with Brodeur and Waugh and Hasek. They had awesome years, year in, year out. It's just a different league these days.
Yeah. And I think if the Stars somehow win it all, I think Ottinger at 16-1 is not too bad. Him at 16-1 or Wyatt Johnson at 21-1. But I think Wyatt Johnson will hit a wall at some point or go cold for a little bit. And if they win it, it'll be Ottinger and then their depth.
I'm only picking Wyatt Johnston. Like, he's the only Star I could trust. I mentioned on the one of the previous shows that he more than doubled anyone else's scoring chances in the first round, and he's been dynamite again against the Avs. So Wyatt Johnson is their best player, even though he's only fucking 20 years old. But the Stars are a weird team, and Ottinger, I can't trust him, especially not at those odds. 16-1 is just not nearly good enough. He's letting in like the Knights. Okay, they shut them down, but that was more the Stars' defense than him per se. And back-to-back games letting in 3+ goals against the Avalanche. And he's got to play the Avalanche a bunch more times too, and they're going to score, so that's not going to help his overall stats. Maybe if they play the Canucks next round, he can get some better stats with their low-scoring games. But no, I just can't back Ottinger whatsoever. But Wyatt Johnson is the guy at a better price.
He's going to had 2 power play goals last game. He's heating up. He's down at 25-1. But yeah, Wyatt Johnson
not good.
21-1 would have to go off if the Stars win the cup. All right. Any other thoughts here before we close it out?
Well, what are the Canucks odds? Give me JT Miller. What's his odds at?
JT Miller, Catfish's boy. JT Miller 50-1 for JT Miller, 45-1 for Quinn Hughes.
Yep.
Patterson 60.
Not Patterson. Not Patterson. He's playing on a line with Lafferty and Mikheyev.
Is he hurt, or is he just like not showing up in the or teams like targeting him?
The PD lovers are defending him, saying he's hurt, whatever. But I don't know. He's still a good player. He's just not quite himself. Not quite the player they are paying him a lot of money to be starting next year. But no. Just JT Miller or Quinn Hughes, far and away the likeliest Canucks to win the Conn Smythe.
What's Brock Besser at? Brock Besser 65-1. That's not long enough. That's not long enough.
Like he was the better shooter, better scorer in the first round, but JT Miller outchanced him by far. He just wasn't getting the puck in the net. So I think JT Miller is the better horse to back long term.
Yeah, I agree there. And that'll change a lot depending on what happens in tonight's game. We're going to kick off in about 20 minutes here.
Who is this guy? Kevin Nix. Perhaps you guys may give tennis predictions like Nadal versus I don't even know the other guys. So I don't.
Is it like Higbee maybe? And he put a space there.
No, I don't know. No Higbee. I don't know who that is exactly. But I'm a casual tennis guy. I just watch the majors for the most part and cheer for Djokovic. But I'll give out some picks that I get from other people for the French Open if you stick around on a future show.
Oh yeah, check out the Tennis Gambling Podcast. Scott Reichel does a great job over there. Check him out. He gives a lot of and the Discord in the tennis channel there. Not sure if Jong's still going on. But Joel, you the double IHF World Championship is underway. You said
that started today. Yeah, Swedes beat the US.
I believe so. Yeah, you got Canada 3-1, Sweden 3-1, USA plus 350, Czech 9-1, and Finland 11-1.
I didn't even check the scores today. I saw the Americans were losing to the Swedes.
I saw they were down 3-2. So I'm assuming
I don't. Yeah. Oh, the
Joel
Czechs beat
has
the-
heck of a game. Interesting.
Who does?
Joel Eriksson.
Ek.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Let's go Swedes. I bet them and the Finns. Finns lost to the Czechs today in a shutout loss. It looks like so. That's why their odds dropped. I bet the Finns at 10-1 and the Swedes at 350. I still like both, I guess. Although like I said, I've just learned the scores now. So it's just group stage games anyway, so they don't mean that much. I'm pretty sure like half the field qualify for the next round anyway. So yeah, it's Swedes and the Finns. Let's go Scandinavia and fake Scandinavia because Finland isn't technically Scandinavia, but there are sharks there, unlike Sweden.
Yeah, Sweden, you can get 3-1 at BetMGM. Everywhere else, it's plus 250 DraftKings, plus 240 FanDuel, plus 225 Bet Rivers. So if you got MGM, hop on Sweden 3-1.
I think that they have the best roster, especially defensively. And they have my boy, Jonathan Lekaramäki, called up there, I think. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that he's on the team. He was one of the best players in the SHL last year and was one of the best players at the World Juniors just a few months ago now, I guess. And yeah, he's going to be an elite talent for the Canucks going forward. And I like to see what he can do there for the Swedish national team. Oh yeah, and John Tavares.
Yeah, Doug Reed in the chat. Yeah, John Tavares joined Team Canada.
Team Canada, so maybe he can finally win something.
Yeah, there's some head-to-head battles here on BetMGM too between some of the lower countries. So if you know your double IHF, get in the Discord. Let us know some winning plays here.
Tavares did win World Juniors, so I take that back somewhat.
Yeah. Win something as a pro. All right, we got the Panthers game finishing up here. Canucks game about to kick off, so make sure you are subscribed to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on Spotify and Apple. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube. Like, comment there, all that good stuff there. I'm good in the Discord, sg.pn/Discord. Had someone reach out to me today via DM. I have to get back to him with the link there. Follow us on Twitter as well at HockeySGPN. All right, I am Ryan Gilbert. You can follow me on Twitter at rgilbertsop.
And I'm Joel Meyer, and you can find me sweating my balls off, both literally and figuratively, as I go out in the balcony and start watching this Canucks game. Let's go Canucks. Or go team go.
Go team go. Doug Reed. Tavares also won the Memorial Cup with the Generals as well. So
fair enough.
I got our Memorial Cup expert here in China. Thank you, Doug. All right. See ya.